Morning, everybody. My question for you today is, are you getting what you want? Our verses are Psalm 37, 3 through 5. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. Are your desires not being met? Verse 4 is one of the most commonly taken out of context verses in the Bible. What does it really say? Let's look at this in a more detail, starting with the verse before it. It starts actually with two commands. Trust the Lord, do good. We're told to do both of these things because it's not natural or easy for us, nor can we do them without the help from God. I know I need to be reminded of this regularly, and I'm sure you do as well. Next, we get to delight yourself in the Lord. This is the condition of the promise that follows. What does it really mean? In order to delight, you need to actually spend time with him. I know that's not a big surprise. That should make logical sense. Quiet time, reading scripture, and prayer are all great. But if you want to really supercharge this, go on a personal retreat. Go on several. Through this, you will know God on a deeper level, where his desires for you become your desires as well. It is then you'll be able to give him your plans and desires and trust and wait. Yes, we come back to trust again. We need to trust him and trust that his plan is for our ultimate good. This is the path to peace and less stress in your life and mine as well. Now there's your food for thought for today, and I want to share one more smoothie recipe with you. We will be doing something other than smoothies next week. I do not remember exactly what I have on my calendar, but it'll be another recipe. And today we're doing lemon herb smoothie, and I will be using a Magic Bullet for convenience sake, and since I'm doing one serving of this and it's easier to clean up. And I'm going to start actually with a couple of sprigs of fresh parsley, organic, and got a teaspoon of sweet basil. I've got some basil, but it hasn't really been ground up, so I'm actually going to grind this up a little bit in my hand just to make it a little smaller. It'll blend in a little better. And obviously, if you happen to have some fresh available, you could do that. The fresh sweet basil, as those of you that have had pesto know, can get pretty strong. So know your limits. Okay, and then I'm going to add about a cup of greens to that. I'm using the Power Greens mix, TJ's. And I use some So Delicious unsweetened coconut milk, about half a cup of this. I mostly go by kind of where it's coming to in the glass because I have an idea of how much liquid needs to be in there before it's actually going to blend. And we've also got some lemon juice. Just one sec. Okay. A couple tablespoons of lemon juice. Of course, this can have a detoxifying effect in the morning. A lot of times we need to develop appreciation for things that are tart and bitter. We have educated our palates that everything's supposed to be sweet, and that's not necessarily true. And it's not necessarily the best thing for our digestions either. Lemon off of there. Organic lemon juice. Okay, and then let's get some avocado in here. A quarter of an organic avocado. Fortunately, this week, all the avocados I got didn't have any that were hard, so I could easily get some that wouldn't be ready to eat for several days yet. Normally, I get some that are, just ripening, that I'll be using right away, and some that are not close for using later on that will eventually ripen up. But when all the avocados are already ripe, that doesn't work so well. Then you just have to put them all in the fridge. Go as unripe as you can get and put them all in the fridge and hope they last long enough. Okay, now you're looking at this, that's not enough liquid. It'll be really thick and not come out. So now we're going to add in a little water to this. Basically want it about halfway on the liquid level in there so that when you actually blend this, it won't be so thick that you need a spoon to eat it. Not to mention it being difficult to get it to blend in the first place. Usually, as long as you've got some semi-solid stuff in there, you want to go ahead and put a kind of pulse it a few times, because otherwise you'll end up with some stuff that's bigger pieces that's up in there either that it's worked down close to the blades enough of the time. So usually a little mixture of just letting it go and pulsing it is a good idea if you've got any solids like I did with the parsley and the greens. Anyway, so that is our lemon herb smoothie. And you can vary the sweet basil depending on your own personal preferences on that. Using dry, ideally, I would let it set in the liquid, kind of rehydrate a little bit before you're actually drinking it. Fresh, obviously, it's not an issue. But anyway, I will be back next week with another verse and another recipe. And I will post the recipe in the comments section down below. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next week.